There is a sort of joke among Hungarian music students that, if your teacher said, "It's not bad," that was the best compliment you could possibly imagine. So there is a kind of a toughness and say a hardening of the musical soul in terms of where you set the levels. And of course, Ligeti really demands the utmost from his players. And one of the things I'm looking forward to, I've done the Concert Romanesque with the Philharmonic in the past, and the degree of virtuosity that it requires is right up the New York Philharmonic's alley. That's what they do. What's interesting about Mi Fi Sol La Sodo is that it is a student work. And so there's this fabulous sense of, what can I try out here? The moments at which he's making a little wink, knowing that the professor's going to look at this, and in a sense of the precocious student saying, "So what do you think of that?" So there are all sorts of things in it. It's a very fun piece in that way. And for me, very much like some of the early paintings of Mondrian, you can already see the things that are going to come out and become mature Ligeti, but in a 20-something are not yet there, but are clearly sort of working around in his imagination on how he makes music move in plastic ways. The Concert Romanesque is actually really a finished work. That one was published during his lifetime, at the end of his life. Part of the reason for publishing it was that he had it all ready, but the political situation at the time meant that you had people who would look at your score and see where it fell on the question of which side of the court are you on, the Warsaw Pact side or the NATO side. And they were very concerned with one little note that he hid in the clarinet part in The Last Dance, that it was falling on the wrong side. And so the Union of Composers said, "No, I'm sorry, this work is unacceptable." And so it went in the drawer. And in fact, it was really the beginning of a lot of his works that he composed for himself and put in the drawer and thought, well, I find this interesting, but I'm never going to be able to get this played. And then, of course, the revolution of '56 caused a great diaspora from Hungary, and Ligeti was among those. And then in West Germany and various different sort of music studios that were supported, he was able to bring out these works. And so in Mi Fi Sol La Sodo, what you see is at one point he's working with the kind of counterpoint that we already know from Bartók, a counterpoint in which figures sort of come one after the other, almost as though they're like various different colors in an embroidered folk dress. And so we're looking at them up close, and they come together and they make these sort of textures, is the best way to talk about it. It might start as a fugue, or it might start as an imitative bit of writing, but it ends up being something afterwards which is its own quality. And that's the thing that you can see in both of these works. There's a great deal of reverence for past models, whether that's Bartók Kodály or his teachers Kadósa Paul and Farkas Ferenc.